Hello and welcomes back everyone, AnthWolf here with even more Pillars of Eternity. As I said, we've rested up at the inn, Aloth's recovered all his spell use. I totally forgot, I just remembered now before I actually started recording, I should have looked at Kanna's chants and invocations. We'll do that probably between this video and the following one, most likely. Because he did pick up a new one to summon some will-o-wisps in our defense, as well as I'm sure we've picked up 2 or 3 before which we never really played with, and I should really update his abilities. But anyway, so we're going to Heritage Hill now. We'll actually talk to the 2 Justicars just outside here, if they know anything about the tower first of all. I'm quite confident this is the tower. Oh, well there you go, the quest updated straight away here. The tower I saw looms above the wall surrounding Heritage Hill. I hope to find the next piece of the puzzle later. The guard at the gate said I'll need special permission from Wyla to keep from first fires to enter. Okay, so really we should have came here. I say we should have done the Temple of Mordecai before we did any really of our side quests. Which is fair, but we got ahead of ourselves and have already gained permission to enter Heritage Hill, and we already solved a side quest here, which is fine. Now, one thing it did mention, I think, when we were in the Temple of Mordecai with the Acolyte, they did not want the man in the tower, apparently, to meet some woman. And we did meet some an undead woman in here, and she was keeping some humans prisoner in her back room, possibly for food. Let's see if the undead have respawned. Yeah, we cleared this place out quite thoroughly last time. I wonder if it's worth talking to the woman here again. Maybe it is. Just to see if she knows anything about this tower now. I think she has a bigger role, but I can't be certain as to why and what'll occur. A Cantha.
You return. What have you come seeking this time?
I saw you in a vision. There's something you need to do for me.
Believe me, I've heard that line before. It's rude to stare, you know. Don't worry. I've no mind to start anything with you. After all, I've stayed in such good shape by choosing my meals carefully.
So it is her that we saw in the vision. But yeah, she keeps herself, I suppose, sound in mind, which is debatable, by obviously eating living flesh, I suppose. Right, let's quick save here. Just in case there's anyone waiting for us, kind of in this fog of war. No? Okay, good. The massive stone door of the tower is sealed, and there doesn't appear to be any way of opening it. Yeah. Speak the words you'd learned from the Leaden Key Acolyte. You hear rumbles and clanks from hidden tumblers as the door unlocks. Okay, so that's how we gained access. There was some passphrase, perhaps. Tower level 1. It doesn't even tell us what the tower's called. Now let's be cautious.
Keep it quiet.
Get to the top of the tower. So we have some undead. I don't think ghouls are that difficult to deal with. focus on the wizard first of all, just to be sure. Excellent. This is interesting. Essence shimmers and pulsates within the strange device.
Light, flame, and sound. We'll keep to ourselves.
Trimble page from Adhelm's journal and Trindig's letter. Day 7. A week of studying was still none the wiser about this device. Trindig remains optimistic. I don't know what I'd do without his spirit. Trindig's letter. Dearest mother and father, you will be pleased to hear that I've learned much already since coming to this city. There are many incredible ruins nearby, and Master Greg has allowed me to accompany him on a number of expeditions. I am writing to you from inside an ancient Engrifian tower. There's an entire district built up around it, but the locals have mostly left the tower untouched. They have let us set up temporary living quarters here, so our work can continue uninterrupted. It is an unsettling place at times, but Master Greg has been a constant comfort, and he is quick to remind me that the things we learn from this tower may one day help us find a cure for Wydrin's legacy. I'd better get some rest now. Master Greg likes to get an early start to the day. All my love, Trindig. Okay. Engrifian towers. Now we already know slightly from Engrifian weapons, at least, how they enhance themselves, and how they enhance their weapons and armor.
Nice and quiet.
Through a form of binding souls, I think it was. What's this? There was something here.
What?
Padding the scratchy old coverlet thickens the air with dust. No one has used this bed in weeks.
Aye?
We should be able to deal with these without resorting to too much magic.
Yes?
Here they come.
Let's go!
Yeah. Our armor's pretty impressive for this part of the game, and our defenses are quite top notch. Of course, I shouldn't get ahead of myself. I can die quite easily, as we encountered with that ancient Drake a few episodes ago. This mattress is lumpy and smells of old straw, but whoever slept here last made it neatly. Huh. Now, Revenants.
Steady does it.
I don't think you are pain.
Hey. Yes?
Point the way.
Hey.
Let's get their attention. Come over here! Yeah, that's absolutely fine. Good job, guys.
Sure.
I'll see what I can find.
Potion of Power. Another page from Adhelm's journal. And a Skaynite scripture? Okay. Well, we've read this one already, so we'll put this away. Feel free to pause and read this. I'm going to have a quick skim of it myself. Okay. Day 2. We've completed our measurements of the machine thanks to Trindic's full agility. Further examination is required to discover its intended use. So that's day 2. I might as well put these notes away as well. And we have day 7 as well, where they still hadn't found out what the device was used for. Okay, we've cleared the first floor. We haven't taken much of an injury. Maybe a couple of scratches here and there, but nothing debilitating.
Hello? Hello?
The Deerwood Part 2, The Broken Stone War. We have a patrol there. That's fine. Oh.
Let's up!
That's it!
Strange.
Get him!
Clearing these people quite steadily. Good. The scrolls contain a pen and ink diagram of an Adra device running through the tower. Despite copious measurements and carefully drawn detail, it gives no indication of the machine's purpose. The Works of the Ingrifians, a comprehensive guide.
Sure.
Oh. The pulling, pounding energy in the machine feels even stronger up here. Oh, poop.
I shall be discreet.
Let's reorganize ourselves before that happens.
Get him!
These ones are in.
Let's go.
Was that Aelof's alternate personality? I forgot what her name was.
Right.
It sounded like her. Huh.
Nice and quiet.
Another table here. Sigil of the Arcane. Grants Arcane Dampener. +1 intellect. And another... Oh, the letter. Oh, a letter from a Canfa. Interesting. Althelm. I did indeed receive your recent summons, as well as the two that came before it. I had been waiting for you to present yourself on my doorstep so that I could give you my answer in person. A firm and unwavering no. I won't help you. In fact, I relish the idea of you and your team of glorified engineers sitting in that tower, sweating over the runes I've studied for years. Nothing gives me greater pleasure than knowing that my research, which you've long since disparaged, is the missing piece in your mundane little puzzle. As you well know, it's knowledge I've always valued. I'm just around the corner. I encourage you to find me when you wish to rehash this conversation in person. Right. So, Cantha knows what this tower is. They were quite close to unlocking the secrets, but they needed her knowledge of runes, I guess.
Take him down.
Settle!
Nice and slow.
A folded page from Adhelm's journal. Did I let that go? Yeah, it went into my key items. So it's certainly important in some way. Day 10. Our patrons grow impatient with a lack of quantifiable results. They should drag themselves out of their mansions and spend a few nights here if they think it's so easy. Well, the people with the money always want results.
Laying low.
Scroll a fireball and another page from his journal.
I shall be quiet as a calm sea. Which is not very quiet.
And a wand, okay. Now, was the Durgle still patrolling, or did we manage to take the creature out earlier? Yeah, looks like we got that one. That's fine. So we have another of the journal entries. Let's get ourselves set at the stairs. Day 11. Finally got out of the tower to clear our heads. Beasts take the patrons. We'll finish the study on our own terms, our own time. Just as I said as much to Trindig, the sky came to life with stray lightning. I said that it's a good omen, but the poor lad's spooked. Only cure for that is a good night's sleep. You have 2 rings. Who else uses intellect? Great. Like, everyone can probably use intellect, but who needs it next? Kana, what rings do you have? Oh, endurance doesn't have any. What does intellect give us again? Area of effect? Oh, actually, area of effect's really nice for Durance and his spells and abilities. Okay. That makes sense. Should boost up Durance's intellect a bit more. Let's head up to the 3rd level. Interesting. Now this looks familiar. Does it not? Maybe it's been a long time, but this shape is definitely something I've seen before. Can we investigate it from here? Standing near the device feels like being blown about by a storm gale. The stone steps hum with energy. Okay, ooh, that looks familiar as well.
Let's try this configuration. Still nothing. Confounded device.
It's like a rune-encrusted pillar. Similar to the one we saw in... what was its name? Rumel Alice? Or Lisa Rumel? The Ingrifian ruins we found when we were looking for the weapons for the expedition hall. They had rune-encrusted symbols. In fact, yeah, like the snail there I recognise. Let's just get into a comfortable position in case things go to hell in a handbasket. A man hunches over the strange mechanism, his spine a sharp ridge rising from his arched back. He's barely clothed in filthy rags, and the patches of skin you see are mottled green. A spoiled stench emanates from him. He is so intent on his work that he doesn't notice you until your shadow falls over him. When he turns and sees you, he snarls and scuttles behind the Adra pedestal. Only his bare teeth seem to have escaped decay. His eyes are yellowed and bloodshot, but they flicker with intelligence. He averts his gaze and holds a hand in front of his face.
Shouldn't be here. What do you want?
Tell me what happened to you.
That's what I'm trying to figure out.
He smashes a fist into the Adra pillar. His hand makes a crunching noise but doesn't bleed.
Forgive me. Forgive me. Research. We came to do research on the tower. Some commission from gods. It hardly matters now.
If I had a copper skate for every fool animancer whose thirst for knowledge led to a disaster, well, I never would have ended up in Gilded Vale, that's for sure. Whatever's happened, I just need you to give me the facts, please.
Something happened on our 11th night. Lights in the sky and a static charge in the air. But we were so careful. We were staying in the chambers below. Trindig, my assistant, said he saw a robed figure lurking around the tower. Wore a mask. Carried knives at his sides. A trick of shadows, I told him. The next morning, we felt strange. Like we hadn't eaten in weeks. So dazed that we didn't at first notice the blood around our beds. The strange wounds that had appeared overnight. And the machine. This cursed spire. Dormant for 2,000 years. Lifeless through hundreds of our experiments. And we wake that morning to find it spinning on its own. On its own! How can we stop what we couldn't start?
As exciting as the prospect of a living machine may be, I suspect that given mention of a machine and a masked figure both, there is another explanation.
Years I've been doing this. Years. I know how these things work, but I don't know how this happened. Nowhere to go. That's the problem. Their souls are trapped here like flies in a jar, clinging to rotting meat.
Slow down. What does the machine have to do with souls?
No time to slow down. But I can explain. Hold a magnet over iron splinters and they stick, yes? Rub your hand over weir wool and the hair of your head will follow it. So it is with this machine.
He looks at you and runs his tongue along the edges of his fine, strong teeth. He quickly looks away.
It has the power to manipulate souls, but why? For what? And how many others lie buried in the ruins of Erglanfath? No. Focus on this one. It's imprisoned our souls in our bodies. Cut the root between essence and flesh. Left a dwindling soul stuck in a shriveling husk.
And you're saying there was a stranger in the tower the night this happened?
I didn't see him. My assistant, he saw him. We laughed. Said he was spooked by the cemetery. Perhaps it was already too late. I don't know what he did. But by morning the machine was on and we were slain. People were already on the streets, complaining of neighbors and family members acting strangely.
What happened to the rest of your team?
By the time I realized what had happened, the district had already been sealed. So we fed when we needed, and locked ourselves in the tower to work. And then there came a time when the hunger struck. And there was hardly anyone left.
Right, I see. So, how can I help?
Not your help I need. It's Harridan, shrew. Squanders her research on frivolities, then refuses to make herself useful. Runes! The runes are the last part of the puzzle. Acantha knows them. She gives them to you, and you can turn the machine off. Release our souls.
Right. Wait, runes? The Ingrifian runes? She can read them? He speaks at his feet so blandly. Let's talk instead of this Harridan Balmung and pick her thoughts a time. She wasn't there the night the machine came on, staying with her patron somewhere near, too good to be burdened with our ignorant company. I'll get the words from Acantha.
Yes. Acantha. She was here. In the district. Probably here still. Always prepared. Clever lady, that one. And perhaps you'll bring me something. Something to keep me sharp. Then I show you a secret about the machine. Something to make you strong.
There's a saying in Ratuai about feeding sharks. Don't do this, Balmung. If nothing else, you're liable to lose a hand. So, yeah. To be honest, I had a thought in my head that Acantha may have been following us up through the tower, and we may have had a confrontation. It's still a possibility. Promise to show me a way to strengthen myself if I get the command words from Acantha and a source of sustenance for him. Yeah, about this whole sustenance thing, probably not going to happen. I wouldn't mind strengthening myself, but I'm not like those assholes who dabble in the darker sides of animancy. Can we look at these ruins ourselves? A jagged Adra pillar rises in front of you encased in stonework and run through with copper veins. Unintelligible runes cover the panel. Whatever Acantha says, we may need to remember. Because if it was something like this machine that caused us or helped us to awaken, maybe it's a way for us to unawaken as well. Yeah, we'll proceed to the bottom. Oh, it saves us from journeying through each level again. Let's go see the creepy undead lady again. See what she has to say. It's misty once again. Now, are you going to have an issue with me? Probably, yes.
Yes?
On your word.
Ready, Watcher.
You return. What have you come seeking this time?
I need the words that operate the Ingrifian machine in the tower.
That fool Aldhelm. He sent you, didn't he? I can hardly believe he's had the cleverness to survive. That simpleton thinks he can understand how to use something without understanding what it is, or why it is.
You feel a hot core of pride smouldering at the center of her soul.
He He dabbles with ancient and powerful devices, with all the finesse of a blacksmith. He sends you here to petition me for aid after years of disparaging my research. I'll bet he didn't even tell you the tower's name, did he? That's his problem. Always looking for solutions without caring for meaning.
Why don't you humble him now by demonstrating the value of your research then? My silence demonstrates it more succinctly. Your words fan the strange coals at the center of her soul. That didn't seem to work then, and we'll try the other option. How about the problems in Heritage Hill are already bigger than your rivalry, Acantha? What do I care? I prepared myself for an eventuality such as this, and I can assure you that those dwindling souls in the streets are beyond caring as well. Her pride burns brighter still. Why don't you tell me the tower's name?
Ternuneth. It's called Ternuneth. They built the machine atop it to contain souls, hold them in place. But the others I've seen, machines scattered all over the Deerwood, are relays, built to move souls.
Really? So this one's to store them? The one we encountered was to move them. But to where then? Actually, yeah, where would they move souls?
Another mystery. Hypothetically, anywhere they wished. The real question, as always, is why? To intermix them the way a player shuffles his deck, the way a farmer rotates his fields? To collect them, like butterflies under glass? To melt them down for raw essence? Unfortunately, I don't know.
You seem to know a lot about this AnthWolf.
I read the runes like a journal. I understand their meaning. People like Aldhelm try to read them like instructions, and in so doing, they miss their true meaning completely.
Why would the Ingrifians have wanted to tether their souls like this?
Perhaps they didn't. Perhaps that's why they built no other machines like this one. We now see the Engwithans as masters of soul manipulation, but they couldn't have attained their expertise without copious trial and error. Perhaps this was one such experiment.
So then we come back to the first question. How do you operate the machine?
Back to these tinkers' concerns. And what would you do with these tethered souls if I told you?
I'd release them then, of course.
So you say. And just what would you release them to? They'd abandon their existence here for another somewhere else, equally aimless and meaningless.
I could help you, but I won't. The pride lodged in her soul flares up, twisting into the shape of something that wives and squeals within her. Here, I have specimens aplenty and time enough to observe them all. It's every scientist's dream. My answer is no. What? What good is observing all this if you're going to hoard it for yourself? Tell her, Balmung. An entire language at your fingertips and she hides it away? Really? We can do this? We can extinguish Acantha's pride? Sure! This is an interesting watcher ability, but we'll certainly try it, just because it's actually available for us. The vampire doesn't seem to notice as you wrap your mind around the scrawling, burning mass. However, it sears your very bones and you jump back crying out in pain. I won't abandon this opportunity. These souls will remain here, with me, and I'll accomplish more than any mancer in the history of the field. And who will know about it? The pride thing flickers as the flames around it abate. All I've learned, years of studying the Erithian language, no one understands it better than me. That counts for something. Knowledge is meaningless unless it's shared. A foolish and false sentiment. Knowledge is meaning. It needs no external purpose. Your opportunities here are finite. One day that knowledge will die with you. The pride hisses and splutters. It's little more than an ember now. You're wrong. I'll build it forever. I'll cling to it. That'll give me something. Why don't you teach me what you know, and I'll make sure that it grows and your legacy lives on then. Your words finally quench her pride, and all that remained is a blackened diamond-hard rock. You cast it away where it melts into the darkness.
So be it. My studies and efforts shall grow through yours. These are the words you need.
Her cold, dry fingertips rest on your temples, and you feel her reaching into your mind, forming images from the darkness. Runes flash through your head, but they're no longer just pictures. They have meaning, and you understand them. They're commands. Something triggers in your mind, a distant memory unearthed from a past life long since buried. You can see a vast array of runes, far more than a Canva has shown you, and you know their sound and their meaning and how they fit together. The language of Ingrif once more at your command.
Something has awakened in your mind. You understand far more than I ever did. Take this knowledge then, and do what you will with Ter Nunith. Now that you understand its purpose, it will serve you in whatever way you wish.
Speaker of dead tongues now, and so he surpasses 100 frustrated scholars in the matter of a few moments. I don't suppose you could look at a few books for me. What do I do now with the tower, that I know these words?
Turn it off, I expect. That will be easy now that you can read the runes. The vessels would still roam, but striking them down would return their essence to the cycle. But be careful. That machine controls hundreds of souls, and that volume of essence could easily overload it. Improperly channeling the essence would destroy the machine along with the souls. It would be a terrible loss for posterity.
We asked before, but you said the other towers around the Deerwood were constructed to move souls. Why would the Ingrifians have wanted to do that? Ah, yes, it's the same question. I want to double check because it was phrased slightly differently. Tell me how the control words work. Harnessing the power of Tian-Noeth is about understanding what it was designed to do. You know the words and their meanings, and you can speak them, and the tower shall obey. Well, thank you, Akanfa, then, I guess. We can now leave. And, yeah, that was an interesting conversation there, because she seemed to have transferred her knowledge to us, and it's awakened part of maybe a past life's memory where we previously had understood the Engrif language. Probably when I'm guessing, and this is obviously me being a guess, we probably were a Leaden Key member in the past. And we may have been studying one of those towers ourselves. Which is why when we saw the tower again at the very beginning of the game, that caused us to awaken. I could be wrong. That's my consideration right now for the meaning. Obviously, if we speak to Theos more, hopefully he'll sit down and explain. Or we'll have a couple of more visions which will help tell us what's happened in our previous life. Yeah, we'll proceed to the top level. Now, this guy's going to be pissed at us, I imagine. As I say, even if we shut down the machine now, he will still be undead, unfortunately, but if we do kill him after that, it will return his essence, his soul, to the cycle. Adhelm looks much worse than before. His rotten flesh hangs loosely, and sores have eaten away patches of skin at his joints. He looks at you with a strange glimmer in his eyes.
Flesh.
He doubles over, coughing up strings of black bile. He seems to have forgotten about you for the moment. Oh, come on. Reorganize yourself. Thank you. Very well. Let's look at this ruin, this pedestal once again. A jagged Adra pillar rises in front of you, encased in stonework and run through with copper veins. The panel is covered with runes which you can now understand. You recognize the words for end and for hold. The dial is currently set on hold. You also recognize by an inscription that the manner in which you turn the dial is a means of throttling the device. Yeah, let's just choose end. As the command word leaves your lips, the dial sinks into the Adra under your hand. Something like a thunderclap sounds overhead. The glow fades from a machine as it falls dormant. And we gain a major positive reputation with Defiance Bay.
Still and silent. It's finally over.
That it is. Meanwhile, we have a new adventure. Well, Palagina, why don't you go? And we got raided by bandits, but we still gained some money as well. Hasn't came up on our status right now. That's fine. So we could have overloaded the machine and destroyed it. Hopefully someone never learns how to turn it on once again. So this might be something worthwhile going back to Lady Webb to tell her about. Possibly. We'll go back to Acantha first and obviously speak to her about the resolution. See if she has anything else to say. She probably doesn't. Oh. She's actually gone. Huh. I wonder if we're going to encounter her again. Maybe someday. She's probably going to be a bit pissed at us for allowing her specimens to escape. Or a food supply, whichever one she wants to call them. So this video's went on for quite some time. We will still keep on going. The tower. It's off. Does it mean the curse of Heritage Hill is lifted? It wasn't a curse, but yes, the district is safe again. I think it'll be some time before anyone will be willing to settle in the district again, but at least we can get started on restoring it. Yeah, we're gonna go, well, quick save, just in case the game crashes on us. Go back to Brackenbury and see if we can explain to Lady Webb the events here. It's not really much about the Leaden Key, but you might be interested in knowing about it nonetheless. It was an event that was given to us by the Leaden Key Acolyte anyway. Lyra Razan. Have we spoke to you before? We can read the vibrant history contained in your soul. No, we haven't read this one before. You see a young woman, dark-skinned, taut with worry. Moving aft, she scales the rigging and shouts frantically at the crew. The ship isn't turning fast enough. She looks at the captain, gaping soundlessly at the approaching vessel. Her hands blister from the descent as she jumps from rope to rope, screaming at him to take action, take charge, do something. What is she paying him for if not to defend her ship from pirates? With a skreel as ladders are thrown across, the ship is boarded. She sprints below decks, taking the steps 3 at a time until she reaches the cargo hold. Scrabbling amongst the containers, she searches until she finds it. A blunderbuss, fully loaded. Someone grabs her from behind and she throws up a knee, whirls around and shoots. The force sends her spine first into a wall, but her assailant falls to the ground with half a head and without an arm. Dragging herself up the stairs, she reloads and engages the enemy force with her crew. She cocks an eyebrow as pirates drop left and right. Clearly this was more than they bargained for when they chose her ship.
Gods keep you.
Oh, a courier. Excuse me, but I've been looking for you. You're the one who lifted the curse on Heritage Hill? My lady, who wishes to remain anonymous, has entrusted me with bringing you this pistol. It belonged to a dear friend of hers who was lost to the curse. For your part in reclaiming Heritage Hill, my lady wishes for you to have it. Here. May this serve you well in battle. Thank you. You are quite welcome. Now, I must be off. St. Gorham's Spark, a two-handed unique pistol. Holy hell, that's powerful. Huh. Let us go speak to Lady Webb. And then we can look at our list of quests that await us.
How fares your search?
There's something else I can tell you about the Leaden Key operations.
Well, let's hear it.
The Ingrifian Tower in Heritage Hill contains an ancient machine that can control the flow of souls. The Leaden Key activated it.
This is troubling. That civilization seems to have known more about the mechanics of souls than anyone since. The Leaden Key was born in that period. It may be that Theos has full knowledge of their technology. The applications of this machine you speak of, I don't want to think about it. That isn't enough to take to the Duke, but we're close. Avar Wolfgren is a cautious man. He will want to know everything possible before being moved to action.
That's all I've found so far. This progress is encouraging. I only hope that we're not too late. So now we have one final primary quest, showing us the Leaden Key Acolyte's vision showed us mysterious ruins somewhere outside of the Deerfoot. The Leaden Key has sent operatives to find the site, though their purpose is unknown to me. We need to travel to Deerfoot village, which we actually haven't done yet. But we could probably ask some of the villagers where these ruins may be. In addition, we have some side quests. Let's have a quick look at them again just to remind myself. Ada wants us to find the Saints' War battlefield. His brother Woden fought for Rediceris during the battle, and died in a battle at Cleamban Raelag. Durance may want to speak to us again at some point. Canarua wants us to enter the ruins of Cadnuria, which we may want to do actually sometime in the very near future. The Master below, of course. We have the old Nuria was killed by the people of his time for his deeds, but the steward claims that a powerful force still dwells within the ruins. The long hunt for Sagani. We need to find the Adra Arch in the woods. Persak has already left the Pearlwood Bluff when we reached there, but we saw another vision, and he was deep in the woods running towards an Adra Arch. Ada has seen the arch before. He said it's on the shores of Bale Lake on the opposite side. On the opposite side is Twin Elms. Oh, which is over here. Somewhere here. And of course, Palagina wants us to travel to Twin Elms as well on a diplomatic mission. The Valian embassy wants to try and take advantage of the Deerfoot's confusion right now and get some opportunistic trade, I think it is. I think Palagina doesn't agree with the situation, but she is their representative. Very well. As I say, this video's went on for quite some time, but we got quite a few things done, and actually, with this in mind, we've kind of finished all of the quests that I've encountered, at least.
Bring back the feisty one. There's a woman can do some damage squeezing her legs together.
It isn't a parlor trick. Besides, she doesn't take orders well.
She has backbone, that woman. Does it scare you?
No, but I won't be responsible for what happens if you call her whore.
Thanks, Durance. Thanks, Alof. Yeah, well, actually, Alof's leveled up. But if anyone doesn't want to watch that process once again, feel free to end this video here. And when we come back, we will be heading, well, east, I suppose. Yeah, I suppose we'll be heading east towards the Deerfoot village. There's likely quite a few people, similar to when we entered Gilded Vale, that we may want to speak to. There may be more side quests we want to pick up. But yeah, that'll be for something to look forward to in the next video here, Pillars of Eternity. So, as I say, if you don't want to watch the leveling up, you can end right now, and I'll see you all next time. If not, we'll spend 1 or 2 minutes just going through the leveling up process once again. See what Alof can do for us. Get your athletics up slightly more. And we can now choose another level 4 spell. Generates a fearsome vertical sheet of flame, inflicting burn damage on anyone moving through it. That's nice. We have concussive shots, and we have another ability I don't think I'm going to use as a level 4 spell. So another Alof for me at the moment is kind of like my AoE specialist. He has a lot of abilities which can deal with large groups, and that's really handy for me, even though he is physically weak. As long as we're not encountering more spectres or wraiths that can teleport, he's really good for dealing with every other type of enemy. Especially if they're going to charge forward into a wall of flame, that's really tempting. But let's see what else there is. Gives the caster access to one free spell from the target wizard's grimoire, allowing them to cast a spell of 3rd level or lower that is not currently in theirs. Okay. Grants a field of arcane energy around the caster, causing hostile targeting spells up to level 3 reflected back, for a total of 10 spells. Huh. Iron Skin. Transmutes the caster's skin into iron, adding significantly to the damage reduction. Plus 8 damage reduction until damaged. Until damaged is the major issue I have. It lasts up to 10 attacks. Okay, that's fine then. So you can take 10 hits at reduced damage. Sometimes that's not very well explained, I think. Flame Shield engulfs the caster in fire, increasing their freeze damage reduction and causing burn damage to anyone who damages them with a melee attack. Essential Phantom creates a ghostly double of the caster, causing shock damage to enemies hit by it. And Dimensional Shift switches the location of the caster and one ally, leaving a shockwave between them that stuns all caught in a line of fire. That'd really probably be good for like Balmung, because we normally send Alof sometimes forward to cast a fireball on a group of enemies who aren't aware, and then he could dimensionally shift to pull a tank, like a tanking character like Balmung or Ada, into the middle of the group. But Wall of Flame, I think, is probably going to be the best one out of the ones available right now. Dimensional Shift we may come back to. And, oh, we can choose a talent for you as well. 2 times per rest, we can conjure a protective shield of magic, dramatically increasing the wizard's deflection. For 16 seconds plus 50 deflection. Nice. That might be really handy for you. Of course, bonus spells is also rather nice. Let's see what we can, what other abilities we can choose for you. Superior, just the passive deflection might be good as well. There's one for disengaging, isn't it? Plus 5 defense. Plus 12 defense when disengaging. No, Arcane Veil sounds definitely tempting to take. We can only use it 2 times per rest, but plus 50 deflection, especially later on where we may encounter more powerful enemies. He may need that little bit of survivability just to get himself out the line of fire. Unfortunately, it's only deflection, which is like obviously physical attacks. But there may be a situation or two where that comes in handy. So yeah, we'll take it. How much? 104 endurance now as average. That's not bad.
How may I help?
What does it look like?
Of course.
It's a nice ability. Interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
And you can cast our Wall of Flame. Oh, we need a rest, but we can probably cast it 3 times.
How may I help?
Let's look at your grimoire. There you go. Don't really need that in there twice. We'll take that Dazzling Light. I don't remember when we picked that up, but we'll take it. Looks like his grimoire's resetting itself. Cool. Oh, we can't cast it right now. That's fair. But anyway, as I say, this episode's probably just ran over an hour now, but this of course has been AnthWolf and this has been Pillars of Eternity. I hope you've all enjoyed, I hope you all take care, and I'll see you for even more in the next video. Until then, bye bye now.